So the theme for the month of October is Beginner's Heart, and we're basing it on Shunryu Suzuki's book, Zen Mind, Beginner's Mind. And the intention, the purpose of Zen and Zen Mind, Beginner's Heart, is enlightenment. No small thing. But the idea is that enlightenment is our natural state. It's who we always already are. And so the intention is not enlightenment in a big, huge, like out of body experience, but enlightenment, which is the most natural, inherent way we can be in the world. And so that's really what this 4-week series is going to be, hopefully bringing us in greater awareness of all our natural awakening. Also, for those of you who may be reading the book or who have read the book, he talks a lot about Zen practice, and this is the way. When I read it, I just put spiritual practice. It's a brilliant book on spiritual practice. So it's not about, I'm not inviting us to become Zen practitioners, although you are welcome to become a Zen practitioner. I've done a lot of Zen meditation and Zen temple, and it's a really wonderful, spacious, joyous practice. But ultimately, what he's writing about is spiritual practice. And so as you're going through it, to reinterpret that when he uses Zen practice into your own spiritual practice, whatever that looks like for you. Lastly, the third point I just wanted to make before we get into it is that because enlightenment is always already our natural state, and that our practice is something that we're doing every day. I love his quote. There's a quote in his book that says, there is no nirvana outside our practice. That our practice is nirvana itself, is enlightenment itself. And so we do it up until the day we leave our body. We are doing our practice because that is where we find our true self, our natural state. So the first topic, today is based on the first section of his book, Zen Mind, Beginner's Mind, and it's called Right Practice. And he begins with the most important piece, and this is the part I'm going to be inviting you to be with all week, which is your body. Now he talks about it in terms of Zen, the posture, the legs crossed, and the mudra, the hand position, straight spine. Now we have to remember it comes from the Japanese culture, and Zen is very old, and it came even from China. They sat on the floor a lot more. They didn't sit on chairs, so it was more natural. And when Yogananda in India, where they also sit on the floor with their legs crossed, when he came here, he actually put chairs in his temple. He didn't ask people to sit in the cross-legged position. When Shunryu Suzuki came over, he did ask people to sit on the floor. But I think ultimately it's not about how we're sitting, how we're holding our hands. Although I have to say, this morning I was just practicing just folding my hands in meditation, and then I switched it back to the mudra, and it did seem to make a difference, made it more focused. But the idea is the body. To become conscious, the point is when you're sitting in a posture, whatever that posture is, in Christianity it's praying, or it's kneeling or bowing, and in Islam we're bowing on the ground. I mean, every practice has their physical portion to it, and the idea is to become aware of our body, that our body is the place of our enlightenment. We see this a lot in Eckhart Tolle, the power of now, just to be fully present in what's happening right now in our body. So we look at our body as a holy temple, or a mosque, or a cathedral, or a church, some sacred building. We are that foundation, and it's beautiful. No matter what structure, if we have good health or bad health, or aesthetically whether we like our body or don't like our body, it is still the place of spirit. It's the place where we hold that consciousness. And when we stay in that place of the body, it's very hard to be past tense or future tense. Enlightenment is not something that can happen in the past. Enlightenment is not something that can happen in the future. The only place where we can know our always already enlightened self, our natural state, is in the present moment, and our body is always in the present moment. It's always going to bring us to right now, and that's the power of the body, of being conscious of this moment. What's wonderful is when we are in that moment, there's two types of right now. There's the right now, which is at this very specific minute, time, space on Sunday morning. And then there's the right now that includes all eternity. So right now is actually where you experience the eternal now. All that has ever happened, all that ever will be in the future. So all the past and all the future is contained in the moment. So if we are fully present in this moment and really are awake to this moment, we actually are awake to all moments. That's the always already enlightened self. It is very hard to be imagining the future and to be awake to all moments because we're focused on the future. This is often why in many mystical practices they don't put attention on getting certain things. There's actually nothing wrong with wanting things, with desiring things. But I'm sure many of you have heard, it's the attachment to those things. Because what happens when we get attached to something? It's not wanting something, but when we get attached to it, what starts happening? We start imagining what it's going to be like to have it. We're not happy until we get it, and suddenly we're living in the future. I will find my fulfillment when I have this thing. That's my attachment. I need to keep working towards this thing, and it's in the future. Our enlightenment is always in the present moment. We can work towards something, but at the same time, we don't want it to pull us out of right now in our body. Y'all with me here? So we're being fully present in our body. And as he talked about, that there's all different types of things going on with our body. And he gave 4 different types of horses. Beth, you like that. Did you remember that section when you read that? Yeah. And he was saying, actually, sometimes it's the body that's struggling the most, that gets the furthest along, because it's the place of compassion. It's the place of, it's not about being the best. And so I think even Shunryu Suzuki, near the end of his life, he had cancer. And he continued to breathe and be present to everything that is arising, even as his body was full of cancer. It didn't limit him. He didn't say, my body isn't good enough. His body was exactly what it needed to be in that moment, and he didn't resist it. And so this is the one thing that we're going to come back to over and over again, and you come back to it over and over again in the book, and this month, is accepting things as they are. And I think accepting our body, whether it's in great physical condition, medium, or bad physical condition, or what we would humanly say bad, to accept it as it is. That doesn't mean we don't want to work towards greater health or greater vitality, but to still accept it as it is on the way to that greater health. Our always already enlightened self, right practice will be to the end of your life, be present with your body in this moment. There's nowhere else to be. And then within that body, the next step he talks about is breathing. I love this. For me, breathing is like the Holy Spirit, like the cathedral full of the Holy Spirit. Breath can be prana or chi, the Shakti energy. It's the vital, moving energy. That's why we breathe up and down, because our spine, or chakras, or the tree of life, depending on your tradition, is like this lightning bolt of energy going up and down. And so the breath is going up and down, lighting up this body temple, lighting up our holy and sacred space. Again, the true aspect of our body is always whole, perfect, and complete. I have to bring in the new thought principle there, that even if you're physically not, your body in the human form is less than, in the spiritual body, the causal body is perfect, whole, perfect, and complete. Nothing can ever limit it. And the same, so the breath is just filling this holy and sacred temple. We're becoming a body of light. We're becoming a body of transparency. The more present we are, we can feel the light energy. We can feel the breath moving through us. And I love that he makes the point that what point does he make? Oh yeah, I know. That it's not us, it's not I that's breathing. He puts, if we say I breathe, then the I is extra. It's just breath. And so what you'll notice in so much of Buddhism, and we were talking about this in one of our classes, the humility of all of it is not taking ownership and saying it's mine. It's not our breath. It's not my breath. It's just breath, breathing me. There's we don't need to even manipulate our breath or control it. We just allow it. We are filled with this beautiful energy naturally. So everything about Zen is just so peaceful. It's not stressing, it's not grasping, it's not trying to get something. And ultimately, excuse me, as human beings, we have this natural desire to stretch, to strive. So it's actually very hard to just be present with what is without wanting something more. Sometimes it can even hurt to just be present with what is without trying to fill it, because we start to feel maybe a little emptiness. But in Buddhism, you're supposed to allow that emptiness just to simply be, because in the midst of that emptiness is the fullness. Emptiness is form, form is emptiness. For those of you who read the book. And form is form, and emptiness is emptiness. Okay, so I just have to say this one point, if you're reading the book, because he has this great quote. If I say it, it's true. Someone said something, and they said, well, that's just what you said. He said, when I said it was true, when you said it was false, because he's been practicing Zen since he was 11 years old. Actually, his father was a Zen priest, but then he was taken under tutelage of his master at 11. It was his whole being. But it is funny to hear Americans who are just learning it trying to speak in this Zen way. This form is form, emptiness is emptiness. It just sounds funny from us. Anyways, sorry, I just got distracted there. So we're just allowing this presence to arise and to fall within us naturally. Again, it does not mean that we cannot have desires. It does not mean that we cannot set our intention and work towards a better life or a better, what we would call a preferred external existence. It's not against that. It's just also saying, let's just accept what is. Because if we just look at it the other way, I'm always trying to better my life, I'm never fully happy with what I have, and I can never be fully present. Practicing being fully present in the moment is practicing my true nature, my already enlightened self, and it's a practice that happens every day. And I personally, and I don't know about you, the hardest part for me is not the grasping energy, not wanting something else. I find over and over I want something else besides that. And to be able to just to let that go and just be present and allow the breath and the presence to arise moment by moment, and to start experiencing a spaciousness and a joy and a freedom. Why would we even do this? Because it doesn't sound that exciting. Being enlightened, the way he's describing it, isn't that exciting. There's nothing like, big lights shining through. And so does anyone have why we want to be enlightened? Why is that something we would even want to do? You decided that? Now, what made you decide that?
Well, because you asked me that question.
Yeah.
And I said, geez, let me think about it. And just the way you described it today, that is our natural state of being, and it is loving and accepting who I already am. And that is exactly what I'm looking for.
That's exactly what?
What I'm looking for.
You're looking for is just accepting who you already are. Nice. Anyone else have any other thoughts of why we might want to be enlightened? This is really important since the whole month is about being enlightened. It's nice to get to the heart of why would we even want to be enlightened. Therese?
I think being enlightened is the same as being awake. Is that correct?
Yes. So what would that?
I would rather use the term awake.
Okay, so tell me what that means to you, being awake.
Having a greater sense of what's really going on and knowing that there's more than just what we see physically.
So is it? I appreciate you just said that. So what you're saying is you want to have a feeling beyond just the five senses. You want to feel the transcendent, experience the transcendent,
And know it's real.
and know that it's real. So it's not just a concept. Okay. So do you experience the transcendent?
Oh, yeah.
Great. Yeah. Michelle?
For me, it's that state of feeling free in my mind, my body, my spirit, and I can imagine just
Yeah. Love it. Freedom is a great one. Freedom, awake. Monica? This is so fun. Sorry. It's when we have a small group. Why not, right? Come on. Enlightenment is the end of all suffering. That's a tough one. It sounds good. I'm glad you said that. We'll come back to that one. Yeah. So, tell me your name.
I'm Cher.
Hi, Cher?
Cher, yes.
Hi, Cher.
Sort of in keeping with that, like what you were talking about with the grasping and wanting things, we think that that's going to make us happy, but happy is a transient state, whereas I think of enlightenment as the eternal joy.
Interesting. Yeah. Eternal joy. I like that. Sounds good. Do we think it's, are you eternally joyful right now? Hi, Gabby.
I'd like to think if I was enlightened, then maybe I would accept other people as they are. So just acceptance.
So,
The whole thing of loving everybody. Because sometimes in the day-to-day, you don't
right.
cut you off or whatever.
Yeah.
Maybe just reminds myself to accept everybody
Yes.
where they are.
Right. Accept everyone where they are, which is a place of joy. I mean, it's the human mind, the relative mind, that's always creating conditions. That's creating this is, we have the walls and the borders. What would it be like to have no walls or borders? Then the transcendent and the immanent become one. Zen is the reason why sometimes it's hard to read, it's very non-dual. It's not about the transcendent and the relative, and yet it is, being in true Zen. But it's also just about it's all one.
Well, I was thinking of being fully present.
Yeah.
And at the same time, simultaneously, being full embodiment of the transcendent. So having it simultaneous.
Yes, yeah. Being fully present, immanent in your body, and transcendent. And as Therese was saying, that the transcendent isn't just a concept, it's an actual experience. So let's just have I've talked about it before, and some of you may have experienced this somewhere else, but let's just try this. I'm going to cut the room down in half here. So Connie, you and your husband are split. Therese, you're going on that side. Carol, you're going on this side. Yvonne, you're going on this side. Okay, so this is... Oh, that's so sweet. The two sides are kissing. I love that. Sorry. That's the way it should be. Got to bring a little romance in here. Hey there. So you guys are this side, obviously. So all I want to do, it's just an experiment. So Zen master named Genpo Roshi created this process, and he does it quite long. We're going to do it very, very short. But what he started doing was integrating a theater practice, which is a theater practice that people would give voice within themselves of different aspects of ourselves. So inside of ourselves, we have the controller, someone who's trying to, like the controller is the person, the ego being voice within us that's controlling everything in our environment. What we want to say, it's editing, what we take in, the choices we make. Then we have he might do the child or the fearful person or the happy person, and to give voice to all of that. So we're only going to give voice to 4. So I'm going to ask this half over, what would it be like to give voice to everything is going well today? Like, what would it sound like? What would you be saying to yourself as everything is just going just the way I want it today?
Hey, I lost 10 pounds.
Yeah. So, what would you say to you? You're in the zone. Everything is running smoothly. How you?
Look, there's the $100 bill.
That's it. You got it. I'm hanging out with him. And notice as you're thinking about things like how it feels when everything's going well, be aware of your body. How's your body feeling? How's the breathing feeling? As you're come on, let's hear, come on. She said lunch is...
I found another $100 bill.
She said lunch is on Jack. So how you feeling? The breath, your body, it's feeling good. Yeah, baby. Okay, so now we're going to go on this side. And I want you to give voice where everything is going badly, where it just feels like, I know, I'm sorry. It's easier. Yeah, you guys did struggle with the good. All right. Or you're just shy. So, what would it sound like if things aren't not going well today?
I just lost
That's the point. I gained 10 pounds. Yeah, sad. Yeah, exactly. You guys do get that much better. You need to work on yours. Anything else? Anything else coming up? Things aren't going well today? You just feel awful. Things will never get better. Never. Always and never. Right. Yeah, it's just... This is never going to end.
I'm going to switch sides.
I'm on the wrong side. This is great. I'm having a good time up here. This is good. Okay, so we're going to go back to this side. We're going to do 2 more. So what does it sound like what are your thoughts when you're seeking enlightenment? Like what are things that you say when you want to be completely enlightened? You're not quite there, so it's the seeking mind. What does that sound like? What are some things you say to yourself? Exactly. Yep, that's a good one.
I say everything I see is the face of God.
And what you're doing that because you want to be enlightened.
I want to just be cognizant of that and think of that and be aware of that all at the same time.
Yeah.
Things make me frustrated or things seem hard. It's all of this.
Right.
All of it.
Well, you're speaking as a seeking mind, not as someone who has it. You're seeking to know it. So I want to see this. No, you have it. No, you're not playing the game.
Stand inside the box of
You've got to play the. You have to. Yeah, you like to have it. Thank you. I'd like to have it. I forgot to tell you that when you were saying the negative things, how did it feel in your body? How'd your breath feel? So as you're looking at seeking, but you don't have yet, you're just seeking enlightenment. You're seeking to be at the level of the Buddha or the Christ.
Stop and breathe.
So, I need to stop and breathe. I want to be, beautiful. I want to be more compassionate to myself. Lots of shoulds, yeah.
Stop and count to 10.
I need to stop and count to 10, yeah. So how does your body feel in your breath? This is all just to be conscious. You're always in your body. All right, now you guys, what does it sound like when you're already enlightened? This is a little harder. What do you say? What are the verbal words that come? You're already fully enlightened. You're at the same level, you and Jesus the Christ and Buddha. And yay, God. I love that. Your heart is filled with love. I am one with all. Everything is peaceful. What? There's only good. There's only God. Joyful for no reason. I am the perfect expression of God's love. Notice how it's feeling in your body, in the breath. What was that? I never want to let this go. All right. So I want this is not to be said out loud, but I just want you to contemplate. Which of these is the big heart, big mind of Zen that Shunryu Suzuki is talking about? Which of these voices is the big heart, big mind of Zen? Answer that question in your head. Think about how your body felt, how your breath felt. Now, how many of you answered that? All of them. Big heart, big Zen is all of it. We are accepting all of it. When things are going well, we accept it. When things are going bad and our self-talk is bad, we accept that. When we're seeking mind, we're that. When we're already there, we're already enlightened, we accept that. Big heart, big mind accepts all of it. It is all of it. It accepts everything as it is. That's how big it is. Everything here was divided, dualistic. Big heart is not dualistic. It accepts everything. So that's why you'll hear when Shunryu Suzuki or a student says to Shunryu Suzuki, I'm feeling the flow of everything. I'm in this, a lot of what you were saying over here, feeling it. And he said, just keep breathing, it'll pass. Because the idea is that there's something even beyond that, even beyond those ecstatic states, even beyond, in mysticism, the ecstatic states are passing. What is beyond, what is ever present, our natural enlightened state is always there, allowing everything. Who you are is just being. It's a beingness that accepts all activity, all the activities of our mind, all the activities of our emotions, all the activities of our life and conditions. That's our always already enlightened natural state. To just let it be. Let yourselves be. Right practice, be aware of your body, your holy temple, accept it as it is, present moment, the breath, right now, present moment, always already, allowing and accepting everything that is arising inwardly, allowing everything and accepting everything externally, for there is actually no internal or external. There is only one. That is our natural state. That is the freedom and the spaciousness and the enlightenment of big heart, big joy, big mind.